Welcome to the Podski. What? Ooh, yeah.
You understand, baby?
Dig it?
Let me tell you another thing.
First name John, last name Baker. Uh-huh. Brother.
Hello and welcome to the Podski. I am your host, the man of 1,000 gimmicks, John Baker. And today is the day. This is what you dream about as a wrestling fan. This is what you dream about as a young wrestling fan. All of it. It's the granddaddy of them all. It's what used to be the WrestleMania day.
The Rose Bowl. Pow.
We did see the Rose Bowl today.
We did.
It's night 2 of WrestleMania. It is the culmination of all the...
It's day 26 of WrestleMersion for me and Baker.
It literally feels like what we did on Wednesday has been 2 months ago.
Dude, my socks smelled so bad I almost took them out on the balcony and lit them on fire. My feet smelled so bad when I took those shoes off from walking around all day today that I was embarrassed. And I didn't want you to faint while we were recording this and smell my feet.
Yeah.
So I went into the bathroom and washed my feet.
This I can't put into words what this WrestleMania whole experience has been. This is now day 6.
Well, we sure got a lot to talk about tonight.
I have been on a roller coaster of emotions. As many of you know, I am the biggest Cody Rhodes mark, and I thought that this...
Are you really? I didn't
No,
You're a fan of him?
Who? Me?
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, who's that guy? I thought that tonight was going to be Cody's crowning moment, along with everybody else in that building, except for there was 81,000 people in that building,
the stupid
and
asshole right in front of me.
That guy. We need to talk about this guy. So this is the guy that we talked about yesterday that lugged up those 2 title belts and was huffing and puffing the whole way up to that.
I was going to have a heart attack on the steps.
Well, he almost had a heart attack whenever Roman Reigns came out tonight. He took his 2 titles and was smashing them together. The dude, I've never seen somebody him and I were rivaling between who was chanting more during that world title match.
You remember when Cornette sent that letter to everybody saying that to be careful with the local fans in Smoky Mountain?
I think so, yeah.
Smoky Mountain Festival. Everybody coming into town for that got a letter saying, just understand that everybody that lives here in this area and attends our shows thinks this is real. So be careful with what you do, what you say, right? I kind of feel like that letter hasn't made its way to whatever local borough that guy lives in. Because that guy thinks wrestling is real.
He has to.
And he spent a lot of money on those belts, that's for sure.
They're very nice belts, and he was clanging them together.
He had the freaking gauntlet gimmick and everything.
He had the gauntlet. Yeah, his kid beside him, he had the gauntlets and the title belts too.
He had the 2 toy belts.
He had the 2 toy belts that he was holding.
Well, and they had fake tattoos.
Yeah, they had the fake
sleeves, dude.
Yeah, and he had a real one though on his arm.
He did.
But the kid had
fake Samoan tattoos on his arm. Which was awesome.
Which was awesome. I totally get it for that aspect, and that part of it was cool. But man, him and I, even though anytime we said anything funny, he laughed at it. He knew the gig.
Man, that guy was all in, man.
He was all in, and that made it even more fun. Tonight, I don't think I've had that much fun at a show, and I left so disappointed. It took me the whole car ride home.
They spilled whiskey all over my fucking pants. All over my Kid Bandit sweatpants. I gotta put on my Fallon Henley sweatpants now.
Your trio's pants.
God.
I left. I didn't know what I felt like. I was gonna cry. I felt devastated. I felt betrayed. I felt heartbroken. I felt everything. I felt like I had just been broken up with.
I felt like I was walking out of that stadium and sitting in traffic with someone who just got dumped.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to say, and I was afraid to say anything.
I literally.
And I was mad.
You were so pissed, and I was just moping around.
But the thing is, thank God it took an hour to get out of that parking lot. And an hour to get up here from SoFi, because Boy, were we in the red when we got in that car.
When we were like, I was ready. So I was ready. If I would have saw Triple H, I would have tried to give him a lariat.
He's your favorite wrestler.
And he's my favorite wrestler
You
ever.
would have killed him. You kicked his ass on the spot.
Oh, dude!
Heart punch. You just took him right out. Right?
Heart punch, throat punch, lariat,
if you
running bulldog.
If you would, knowing about his cardiac history, and knowing in your mind that you're so mad at him in the moment,
Dude, I was just all red.
would you have done the Texas tornado into a heart punch, or just given him a heart punch?
I don't even know what I would have done. I probably would have given him a lariat. Like it wouldn't even have been a running bulldog. I just would have given him the lariat. And the only thing the only thing that is so funny about that is that we were at a show earlier this week, and at one point, one guy yelled, "Give him the lariat!" like out of nowhere.
Telling you right now, if we had been walking out of there and Vince McMahon would have been on the escalator, he'd have got thrown down the escalator.
Yeah.
To his death.
Yes. We were so mad. And we weren't the only people that were mad. If
everyone was mad.
Everyone was mad except for the people that were wearing Roman Reigns gear. And there really are.
There's people who are all in on the bloodline, dude.
Which I totally understand. Totally understand it. Because I am too. But tonight felt like you don't get many moments like that. Like that entrance that they did for Cody, I've never seen. WWE doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And he walked up to his wife handed him their child. They had the moment where he's like, look around and say hi. And he looks at the little boy, if you didn't know on the telecast, it's -1, which is Brody Lee, or AKA Luke Harper, for the WWE. Brody Lee was in AEW, passed away tragically, obviously, and that's -1. That's his gimmick name given to him by his dad and in AEW. So the AEW audience knows him as -1, and Cody has been a huge help for him through all of that. And Cody is his favorite wrestler, I'm pretty sure, is what's been said. And for him to give him that weight belt and have that moment, when I left there, it felt like what Ring of Honor did to Mark Briscoe the other night, and I was furious. I was like, we just saw the same thing back-to-back days nearly.
You know what? I think let's even take a step back and let's go through the day and go through the show.
Correct.
Because that, I can't wait to talk about it. Because that that was unquestionably the best Roman Reigns match ever.
Oh.
How many times have I said to you, or even here on the Podski, that there's training wheels on everybody in the WWE, and we never get to see what people are fully capable of because of the safety standards that they have. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there was nothing crazy outrageous with safety in that match. We're gonna get into it, here shortly. Dude, how fucking good was Roman Reigns tonight, dude?
That's okay. So I can't say that it was Cody Rhodes' best match he's ever had.
It's going to be top 3 or top 5.
I would say top 3.
This is Okada. You got Okada. You got Dustin. I mean, those are
MJF, Omega.
I would say tonight was a top 5.
Today, there's a lot of great there's a lot of great Cody matches out there, but I think that this is one of the greatest matches he's ever had, and that is the best Roman Reigns match that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Whenever everybody in the industry talks about Roman Reigns being the best wrestler, we never see it. That's what I pictured it would be, and that's what we got tonight. So we're gonna get to it, but in our car ride home, we divulged. We went over a lot, and we calmed down.
We got a lot of good ideas. A lot of things about what we think is coming.
What we think is coming.
So if you're in the red right now,
which a lot of us are.
I mean, just bear with us because we're going to go through it. We think we've got a really good idea of what's happening.
Yes, and this isn't like fantasy booking.
It's not.
This isn't fantasy booking that we're trying to do. We're just trying to logically think of what's ahead. What we've done.
Going by the people who make those decisions. What are the patterns with these people, right?
Right.
And we think we know where we're going.
Yes. But yeah, so our day, we went and got breakfast at
Jeremy's in Montrose, dude. That place, I hadn't been there since before the pandemic. He's a diner food.
Mm-hmm.
That French toast was awesome. You know, my whole thing with French toast is, you know, growing up, we ate white bread French toast with
Yeah.
tons of butter, no powdered sugar,
No.
nothing like that. I want that. To me is real French toast.
Yeah.
And I am gonna comb the world to find that. Because my dad makes the best French toast I've ever had. And I know people say that, well, my mom makes the best lasagna.
Yeah.
Shut up. Your mom doesn't make the best. My dad makes the best French toast. He doesn't even know that he makes the best French toast.
Yeah.
So, but I'm looking for that. I'm looking for just white bread, easy, a million. Just I want you to pour the butter down my throat. Is what, you know what I mean? I want a side of French toast with my butter. Is what I want.
Yeah.
With this. So they're pretty close. Jeremy's is good. They've got really good food. You know, hashtag, you know, Jeremy's Montrose, whatever. So go, if you're in the area, go check that place out. It's right on Honolulu Street. You can't forget that, you know. So it's on like the western side of town. So it's a really great spot. So then we went down by the Rose Bowl, like you said. We drove down past the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
We did the up close. You know, and then we saw, you know, a bunch of people running and walking their dogs and all that.
It's like literally in the middle of a park.
A lot of good scenery with the people running, and I'll leave it at that. You can sit there and just watch the scenery of the people running around the Rose Bowl.
I didn't realize that it's like there's literally a golf course on the
I
backside.
didn't really even think about that either. Yeah.
And there's just like a huge open park like right in the front of it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They have like a big flea market up there too. I don't know when they have it. It might be like a farmer's market in a flea market, but they do like a pretty big thing. It might be every Sunday even, but I've never been there, but I've heard it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then we
drove around.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, we drove.
we
saw the bowl shot where we were away from it, and then we worked our way back down into town. We went to the Superstore.
Boy, I'm so glad we
I'm
paid
so
for parking at that Superstore.
Dude, parking is killing us this week. We spent more in the last 24 hours on parking than we've spent on food, I think, this entire week.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah.
All the money I wanted to spend on freaking action figures and shirts got paid in parking. So sometime during this trip, $35 to park at the convention center, which was a killer.
Yeah.
But that place was awesome, dude. We went right in. They had a million things in there.
Oh, it was so cool.
But oh man, all those figures they had, the setups were just like the dioramas, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, they had the crowdfunding thing. I don't know if did we talk about the crowdfunding thing on here?
I think we did.
So they're doing the crowdfunding thing for the WCW entranceway, and they had it sitting there, the prototypes and like the hand painted figures that you're gonna get with it if you back it. So listen. That thing is awesome.
It really is.
Seeing it in
person is badass.
You probably can't fit it on a coffee table. It's that big. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to back that thing.
However, they got to get to 11, right? 11,000.
If you need to get to, they need to get to 11,000. No, Steiner is 9,000.
Well, maybe they can get to 9.
Maybe they can get to 9. So they got to get to 5 to at least do it.
Okay.
So I think they're sitting at a little. They're probably at like 1,500 at this point.
Probably even more than that.
Probably
maybe like 16 or 17 at this point.
Yeah.
We checked it early this morning.
Right. So to see that and to see the figure reveals, and they had so much stuff in there. They had so much cool stuff. They had Ray's gear from WrestleMania 35. They had Cody's entrance jacket and the tights from last year's WrestleMania.
It was like a museum.
Yeah.
They pulled like museum pieces out, man.
They had the Eddie Guerrero lowrider from WrestleMania 21 and his boots and the title.
Yeah.
There
was Mr. Perfect singlet.
Yep. And then they also had from the last time they did a WrestleMania in Hollywood, which was WrestleMania 21. They had a sign off to the side of the stage that said WrestleMania goes Hollywood. They had that above, kind of like the big.
Yeah, they had
Jimmy
Elizabeth's
Hart
jacket from the
the
Savage loser retires match.
Yeah, is that WrestleMania 6 or 7?
Warrior, I don't remember which one it was.
7, I think.
Probably, I think it was a little, maybe it was 8. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But that was awesome to see that, and that they had the Mouth of South Jimmy Hart outfit with the piano tie was great. Undertaker's urn and hat.
Yes.
Which was not prominently displayed For some, it was like kind of
No.
tucked away.
Yeah, well, they
Maybe
also
there were somebody's gonna grab the hat and put it on. I don't know.
well they did have it over around the corner then too.
Okay.
They had Triple H's Hunter Hearst Helmsley gear.
They had Barbarian's gear when he was with Heenan in
Yeah.
the singles run where he had the antlers.
They had the Sami Zayn mousetrap too.
Yeah.
From last year. They had Roddy Piper's gear from
and Goldust's
and Goldust's outfit from the
backlot brawl.
Yeah, the backlot brawl.
Yeah, that was cool to see.
They had so much stuff. It was a little legit museum in there.
So I guess they're doing it right. They're trying to track down all these pieces, and they're hopefully going to have enough to open a standalone museum.
I don't know how they haven't had a standalone museum already because
Dude,
they say
how have they done for 30 years?
They say but they say that they have an archive of they call it like the garage or something like that. And they have like the SmackDown Fist in there. They have all the sets that they've ever done. It's all in a warehouse.
God.
And it's not just one warehouse, it's like multiple warehouses.
I swear that before the pandemic, I heard that they were going to open a real brick and mortar museum in Orlando.
I think that they were trying to do that, but now I think with everything that's going on, because apparently they're getting ready to get sold as well too to Endeavor, which we could talk about a little bit if you want to.
Sure.
So apparently Endeavor wants to buy, and they're in advanced stage talks about purchasing WWE.
And they own the UFC, correct?
Correct. They own the UFC. I think they own a bunch of things, really, but I think that the Endeavor Group, they are the ones that bought the UFC, and they are the sole owners of UFC right now. So
what I found out today was that they are hands off.
Yeah.
They will purchase something, and then they don't screw around with it.
Which is the reason why somebody like Dana White is there, and they want Vince to be the vice president, but they want Triple H to be head of creative.
Right.
Which after today, could be argued, do we really want that? But stick around to the end.
Yes, of course.
Stick around to the end. But yeah,
what else we see? That was pretty much.
We saw Liver King outside.
We did. We saw Liver King.
We saw Liver King outside the convention center once we were leaving,
giving a little kid a pep talk.
Dude, that was so good.
Which was, I mean,
you look at Liver King on TikTok and you think he's a piece of shit and he's an asshole. He was telling this kid, like, he was giving him like the speech of his life.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I totally changed my perspective on Liver King in that moment.
It was good stuff.
He absolutely looks like he smells like rotten eggs.
He did not charge, from what we could tell, did not charge anybody for pictures.
Did not do that.
Everybody who wanted to talk to him.
Literally said anybody wants a picture, and everyone lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we ended up going to the stadium instead. And we stopped at the Hawaiian barbecue place.
Yeah. Oh no, Hawaiian barbecue, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What'd you think of that?
It was really good. I mean, I did eat it after the show.
Yeah. Their chicken, dude.
It was so good.
For good chicken teriyaki, man.
That was so good.
And Oh No Hawaiian is a small chain, so they've got a handful of locations. But I mean, if you're ever out this way, man, anybody listening is ever out this way, or maybe you're even here. That place is awesome, man. And the value is good. You get a ton of food. It's awesome.
Yeah, because when we walked in, like the presentation of everything in there was really good. Yeah. The food was really good. Like that chicken was awesome.
Yeah, that teriyaki chicken's badass.
Oh, so good.
They give you just the right amount of rice.
Yeah.
And the right amount of the macaroni. That's what it is. Like you get a heavy container of food.
It was heavy. It felt like a brick.
It feels like the right amount of food.
Right. It doesn't feel like too much, but it didn't feel like I didn't get enough.
I love that place.
And then we headed over to the stadium, and we went inside, and
it didn't take long to get in again.
It didn't take long to get in.
The intro was great. The outro was not.
The outro, yes. The getting in is so easy.
Minus the cost of park.
And minus the cost of parking, it was $80.
I even tried to get that girl to give us a discount.
If she said if you all would have had cash, you could have parked for free.
Oh God.
Dude, we had cash, but she said it after we paid.
Well, supervisor was standing.
Well, supervisor was standing. She did say that too.
She was very nice.
And
she was joking around with us too, and I even tried to, because my hair looks really good. It still looks really good right now. But, I was trying to get her to give me the good hair discount. She was not feeling that.
No.
It is what it is, man.
The girl,
you always gotta try.
You tried to get the good looking discount at the convention center.
I tried that too.
And she shut you down so quickly.
Like, no way. I had 2 women today tell them that they wouldn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I tried to get a good looking discount, man. Nobody would even do it.
No.
It's a tough town.
It is.
You got to be a 10 to get
That's
a
why they
discount
call
here.
it. That's why they say if you can make it in Tinseltown, you can make it anywhere.
Make it anywhere. You know, and for a guy like me, you know, who's not a 10, but I'm like a 9.6, you know, with everything. You got to be a 10. You want that discount, you got to be a 10.
Yeah.
I'm close. I'm not there yet, man.
I'm so happy I snuck in at
I'm gonna
Tinseltown.
hit that Noom, I think, in a couple days.
The Noom?
And get this WrestleMania weight off of me.
It's gonna feel
Before the cheeseburger picnic in June, yes.
Yeah.
If I go home, if I'm this heavy when I go home, my dad's gonna make fun of me. I can't have that happen. I gotta get skinny, or my dad's gonna kick my ass. My dad's gonna tell me I'm not allowed to drive a truck because it's weight rated, so I'm not gonna be able to get in the truck.
Oh wow, that's amazing. We had some highlights before the show when we got into the stadium. We got a fantastic picture with the Cinemoji. So if you watched the night one with the Ray and Dom match, where they had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinemoji, met the Cinemoji out as soon as we scanned our tickets in. I got accosted and held hostage by three other dudes that wanted to take a picture because I was wearing my Cody Make 'em Say shirt, and the one guy wouldn't want to take his picture. So I thought we were going to literally stand there to the main event of the show.
That was so weird.
Wasn't it? What
guys would get the shot.
And in my picture, and I wasn't even
with your friends. You don't want to get the shot. What are you doing?
Yeah, and the sun was like so in my eyes that I couldn't even see you.
You didn't even know them.
I had no
picture.
Yeah, I had no idea who these people were, and they're like, "Dude, just get in this picture because of your shirt." And I was like, "Sure."
So weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Speaking of weird, we met Goldust.
We did.
There was a person that we saw when we first got up to the upper deck. Unbelievable, yes. This person pointed at us because he saw my Cody shirt very weirdly. He says like, "Cody," and I was like, "Ooh."
It was a little creepy.
Yeah, but by the time the outfit was
insane.
a 10.
It's a 10.
Yeah, outfit was a 10. And even the makeup was perfect.
That guy did a hell of a job on that outfit.
It was so good. Hats off to that guy.
He really did do a hell of a job.
We circled around the top concourse and we saw him down around where
we saw him twice. Yeah, because he pointed at you the first time.
Right. And I felt when we crossed past the second time, we're like, let's get a picture with this dude.
Yeah.
So we got a picture with Goldust, and he was really tight up against you, which you probably
Which was a little awkward.
Yeah, are you friends with Goldust now?
I think he might be in my group.
Yeah.
With Dan Barry and Mark Davis.
Yeah.
It's me, Dan Barry, Mark Davis, and Goldust. We gotta go. I can come up with a name for that. We're going after the fucking 8-man titles, dude.
Oh.
You can have the trios belts.
I'll have the trios belts.
You and Kenny King, and your other boy,
DDP.
You guys, we already know we can't beat you for the trios.
Correct.
Belts, so we added a 4th.
So you have so now you're now you're set up for War Games.
We have so much power.
Yes.
With the owner and the booker that we created 8-man tags. So now we're gonna go after the 8-man tags. The Podski 8-man tags.
Right.
The Podski Wrestling Federation 8-man titles. We're going to go after it.
We're the only federation that's got 8-man titles.
In the U.S. Or
correct.
Probably in the world.
Probably. But yeah, stopped and picked up my first ever El Segundo Brewing Company Broken Skull IPA.
What'd you think of that? No, it was the you had the lager.
I had the lager.
Yeah.
The lager reminded me of a Yingling.
Little less bite.
Less bite than a Yingling.
But better than a Yingling, dare I say. What'd you think?
As a fellow Pennsylvanian, I don't think I can say that it's better than a Yingling.
It's better than a Yingling, dude. There's something about it I don't like.
I love it.
I did love it. I used to love it. Now
you came out here and the left coast changed you.
It just changed me. Now I'm a different person now. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But then the big purchase was made. It was frigid up in that upper section because the wind was swirling up there, and I said that I was gonna go buy the coat, and this is such a great story. So we waited in line, and
no kid went home crying tonight.
No kid went home crying. We were in line, and you could see I was just looking at where these jackets were in the store because it had it was in the pro shop.
Yesterday they were in the window.
No, they weren't in the window yesterday.
Okay.
Today they were in the window because they had limited stock.
Okay.
So yesterday when I saw them, they had their own standalone section, and then today they had so many less of them they were in a window. And the closer and closer we got, I started to notice that the jackets were gone. And we got into the pro shop, and I saw a woman holding the last one in her hand.
And you tore it out of her hand.
No, I did not. I did not tear it out of her hand. She was putting it back on the rack, and I took it out of her hand as she was putting it on the rack, and she looked at me and said, "Do you know how much that costs?" And I looked at her dead in her eyes, deadpan, and said, "I don't care." And I took it from her. Luckily, it was my size. It worked out perfect.
Yeah.
It fits like a glove. It's beautiful.
It is awesome.
It is so great.
God damn.
And I even twirled in it once I put it on out in the concourse.
You did a twirl.
I did a twirl. And so, yeah, I left a bunch of Podski stickers in SoFi Stadium. So if you found us from the stickers, thank you for using the QR code.
Yeah, and if you're a janitor at SoFi and you had to clean all that up, we apologize. But you should download, rate, and review before you get mad.
Correct. Or if you found us in another porta potty in the H lot.
Are you listening to us from the H lot porta potty? What if there's somebody in the H lot porta potty right now and they're like, dude, this audio is great. These guys are going to win more Cody. I'm going to sit here and take shit and then listen to some more episodes of this. And like their kid and their wife are in the car.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to Dad? He's been gone for 3 hours. He's listening to Podski is what's happening to your dad. It's infectious.
Oh shit, that popped me to the moon. But we ended up getting up to our seats, and we started noticing some things right away about the presentation of today.
Yeah.
They started doing some things differently within the building, and Trey wanted us to define different in the chat, and we couldn't. So what I could describe as different was right away they had the mayor come on the giant jumbotron.
Yeah, get that guy in a match.
Yeah, that guy had cut a nice little promo.
He did cut a nice little promo. The Inglewood mayor.
Yeah, the Inglewood mayor. He did a great job.
And he already had a belt.
Right. You could just tell.
If you're going to carry it, you got to defend it.
Right. Champion's burden.
Champion's burden.
You could just tell there was magic in the air. Like you could feel it. It was, I don't even know how to explain
they're coming off a hell of a show.
Right. Where everyone left happy.
Yes.
Can't say the same about what happened tonight. But that you could, I don't know, it just had a feeling in the building that like this was going to be a magical night, and we got things started off really well, and we had Brock Lesnar and Omos open the show, and it's exactly what it needed to be. Didn't need to be long. Didn't need to be too.
It sure wasn't.
It sure wasn't. Omos got in there, and what a specimen of a human that guy is.
Enormous, man.
He is enormous.
They said his hands are 14 inches.
Yeah.
From palm to the middle top of his middle finger.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That's a 2-foot hand. That's not a 2-foot hand. That's a over a foot hand.
That's crazy. He's enormous.
Yes.
Way bigger than people realize, man. That guy is huge.
He looked like
he's taller than Khali.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taller than Great Khali.
Like even sitting as far away as we were, which felt like 7 miles away, he still looked enormous.
I mean, look, I don't know if that guy. I don't know what the ceiling is for a guy like that, but as an attraction, dude, he's
big attraction,
huge man,
big attraction.
I wish that match would have gone like 2 more minutes.
It felt a little flat.
A little bit of a letdown. It just in terms of, I just wanted to see. I know Lesnar sold a lot at the beginning of the match, but if it would have went 2 more minutes, I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it didn't do anything.
It felt flat.
Yeah.
It felt like the finish came too quickly.
Yeah.
Like I figured if we were gonna get somebody to kick out of the F5, might have been Omos.
Yeah.
And he would have had to do it again and again, and he would have had to do 4. Like you're in your 2 minutes if you can do 4 F5s in 2 minutes.
Yeah, 1 F5.
1 F5.
1 F5 beats John Cena, dude. Or Theory or somebody. We need to do at least 2 or 3.
Agreed. But then we got into this women's match, which I instantly thought, well, we're on the women's match already. I know what's coming up next. I better go take a piss.
I didn't really understand. Look, I've said this 100 times too, man. Like I want everybody to get paid. I wish they would have done the Andre Battle Royal tonight and given LA Knight or Lashley the win and given those guys all a payday, on the Mania show. But I get why you want to do this match and you want to get more people on there and showcase women's wrestling, but they didn't. It wasn't great. And look, I'm a big proponent of women's wrestling. You know that, but like,
Right.
it's just
You might be the biggest proponent of women's wrestling.
it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. I'm not saying it was terrible. It just wasn't any good.
I don't think it deserves to be on WrestleMania.
Get Raquel the hell away from all of these people, man.
Yeah.
Like, Raquel's got a real future in this.
Uh-huh.
I like Sonya Deville too, man. She got way better when she got to the main roster. I don't know if I think the rest of them have in any capacity. And I'm not, look, again, I'm not burying anybody. Do whatever you want. I'm glad you're getting paid. But I don't know if there's much future talent
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that I'll leave it at that.
Uh,
No tank. Where was the tank?
they said they had the
For
tank.
Shotzi.
They said they had the tank there,
Why didn't she write it down?
but she didn't write it down.
No.
Maybe it's going to be at Raw tomorrow night.
That's her thing, dude.
I
You
mean,
don't-
I
you don't
didn't
wanna-
see it, so you
You
saw
don't want
it.
to have smoke and a bunch of tank noises and have her roll that damn thing all the way down the ramp. That'd been awesome to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Or like a real tank.
That would be cool to have a real tank. Yeah.
Rusev had a real tank.
Rusev did have a real tank. Lana knows all about that tank.
Extracurriculars were had in that tank.
That's right. The way it should be. The way we do in Belarus or Bulgaria or whatever the hell country I'm from.
But then that led into the Haas fight that I was really looking forward to, this Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther, who's Sean?
Michaels, dude. It was
Shawn
It was
Michaels, yeah.
Gunther, Shawn Michaels, and Max Moon.
I said Gunther, and I thought about those morons behind us. Do we want to take a second and talk about those idiots?
Dude, I hope those guys are fucking laying in a ditch somewhere right now. Those assholes, dude. I mean,
The
they
guy
were yelling
yelled.
stupid shit all
Yeah,
night.
I'm not even going to say what they yelled at one point. Whenever they said when they said we want
They were
tables.
yelling things that were very offensive. Very over. Look, I say
Like
over
even
top
there,
stuff.
even with the small child in front of me.
There were multiple small children around them, even
Yes.
behind them too, dude. They
Right.
were yelling stuff that was outrageous.
Yes,
I mean, like
we'll get canceled if I say what they said.
Bad stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was not good. They were calling at one point. They were calling Gunther every German name you can think of right now. Gunther's from Austria, idiots. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Whatever German things you think they could have been yelling to someone that they thought was German, that's what they were saying.
yeah,
Over and
over
again.
and over again.
Like to the point where I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not getting thrown out of WrestleMania for those guys, dude.
No.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the job for them.
No,
You know, so it was like I'm not gonna be that guy. My days of being that guy are over, man. Like I've gotten into fights at Beaver Stadium with fans, yelling stupid stuff. Like I'm done. I don't care anymore. I'm done being everybody's hero. I'm done. I'm retired from my hero. My hero days are over, man. I just want to enjoy the show. If it gets completely out of hand, I'll step in. But
yeah,
I'm typically the guy that steps in because nobody else wants to do it. Because I'm not afraid to get my ass kicked, and that's not. I'm not bragging about that. That's a problem. That's a
yeah,
problem
yeah.
for me. So I just have to. I have to not do it. I have to be the guy that says I know that I'm gonna do it, so I need to not do it.
yeah.
So that's what I did.
Dude, they were the
even though
worst.
they were pushing. They were pushing.
They were pushing their luck at the end of the show, especially when
Oh my God.
especially when that beer went flying.
Dude, the guy he fell asleep. The
Yeah,
guy was so jerky, passed out.
yeah.
I mean,
It was just it was just a bunch of 20-year-old kids
they
that
were
showed up.
idiots, dude, man.
and
They
they
were
were-
yelling stupid shit the whole night. It was just it was pretty obnoxious.
Yeah. But yeah, this match was awesome.
Great match.
Great match. Absolutely loved it. I felt like Gunther didn't do anything. He was just laying on the outside like he was wrestling for Pandemonium Wrestling.
Yeah, but for the first 8 minutes, he did a lot of shit.
Right, he did a lot of shit.
Then he took a nap.
Then he took a nap, and then he came back in.
He came back in well rested.
Conserve your energy, come back in for the finish.
Yeah.
But I thought it was awesome.
Boy, seeing him powerbomb Drew and everybody was pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That guy is sick.
Yeah.
Um,
Drew's chops are better than I thought they'd be.
Oh, we could hear
you can brought the chop game tonight, man.
You can hear the chops from 7 miles away. You could hear them like you were sitting ringside.
Yeah, Drew was awesome in that match.
This match is hard pressed to say that it's not match of the night. It's not for me, but
the main event's match of the night.
The main event's match of the night. As much as as hurt as I am of it, but the main event's match of the night. This I would say this one is number 3 for me tonight. I gotta put the Omos and Lesnar match at 4, and obviously I'm gonna put the women's match last. And that's not like I'm not trying to bury them, but it's I don't know.
That was a pre-show match.
It just didn't feel like a WrestleMania match.
Why did we not just get LA Knight and Lashley?
Why not?
And put in
LA Knight, we're in LA.
I mean, that guy's so over.
Everyone, it did not
People
matter.
were yelling for him for 2 nights.
It did not matter what show we went to all weekend. We heard a yeah
all day,
every show, every day.
Yeah.
All day.
The clock's ticking on that guy, man. He's not a spring chicken.
Right.
I mean, Ricker's not a young guy, man. I mean,
Hagerstown's own.
Hagerstown's own, dude. He's probably sitting at Roy Rogers right now crying his eyes out.
Because he didn't get a
Where
burger.
Where the hell's my freaking burgers?
Yeah. Maybe that's why he wasn't at Mania. Maybe he was already making his way over there.
He could be in Hagerstown Roy Rogers right now.
Could be.
I feel bad.
If
You're gonna have to drive by there when you go back to the shoot job and see if he's hanging out.
I will.
Give him a burger.
I will.
I'll Venmo you the money like I did tonight with the hot dog guy.
Yeah, the hot dog.
Oh no! There was a hot dog vendor that came through the parking lot who knew he wasn't supposed to be there, and he was selling hot dogs as he was moving the cart.
Yeah.
And it was real funny because he was the 90 years old guy selling hot dogs and bacon wrapped hot dogs. I swear to God, that guy was in motion whenever I was handing him money and he was throwing a hot dog at me. It was pretty awesome. And that hot dog was okay. It was okay. I paid $10 for a hot dog and I could have got it 7-Eleven for probably $1.19. But hey, when in Rome, I guess, right?
Yeah. But then next we had the Raw Women's Championship, and you spent 3/4 of this match at the bathroom.
Oh boy, yeah, that line was not small.
Yeah.
Not small. So I was down there. I saw the last couple minutes, and I thought, whatever, what I saw of it looked good.
Right. I thought it was I thought it was a really, really good match. And this is 3. This, how I said that, the Intercontinental match was 3 for me. There's 3A, and then this was 3B.
Okay.
Because I just thought that they were pretty evenly well done for me. I really enjoyed it. Surprised Belair retained.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going to try to put that on Asuka.
Well, they were pushing the streak for her. For she hadn't been beaten in a singles match in like 3 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they made Belair, with that. But,
right.
I don't know. I like Bianca enough. I like her enough. She's good.
Yeah. And then the really sad news that we heard after the show is that she had a really, really cool entrance with all the girls doing the gymnastics routine. The little girl that did the main dancing at the end, who was in the front, that came along with Bianca, Triple H said in the post-conference scrum that they do that, they really wanted to make it special for her because her mother had passed away earlier in the day.
That's crazy.
So,
sorry to hear that. That's a rough dial.
That's so tough and hard to hear. So now we're going to segue into the light part of the show where we got the surprise.
Boy, did we. Is Snoop Doggy Dogg in the Hall of Fame right now?
I think so. I think he's an honorary member.
If he's not in,
I seriously think he's an honorary member.
They should have ran to the ring and handed him a plaque after this.
So we got The Miz, they were gonna redo, like, Miz had an open challenge and he was gonna try to get his win back from Pat McAfee last night. And this is where we thought we were gonna get LA Knight.
Yeah, or even Lashley.
And we got Shane McMahon.
For what reason, I have no idea.
I was not excited to see him.
Dude,
we were the only two people in our section that didn't move.
When that music hit and I saw the green, I wrote into the group chat, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
And everybody else was standing and I sat there.
Yeah, you didn't move. I got up just because I got excited because the music I love, but what are we doing bringing out Shane McMahon?
Who cares? Why is this guy still there, dude?
What? Yeah, and then what ensued in the ring is that
showed why he shouldn't be.
He did one move and blew his hamstring or blew his quad, tore his quad
in a matter on the ring like a 90-year-old man.
In a matter of seconds.
I mean,
totally wasted moment. But
hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah, is what I have to say about that.
Snoop Dogg saved the day for this.
Well, I think somebody said that they called,
the ref told him to do it.
Somebody told the ref to tell him what to do, but that dude went into freaking improv mode instantly,
and he did a hell of a job. They should write that man a fat check.
And the ref too, man. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I thought that was Ronda Rousey. Whenever she had like eye makeup on, like eyeliner or whatever, and she looked like Rousey a little bit, like on the Tron. But yeah, dude. I mean, they went right into it, dude, and they saved that segment while they were getting Shane out there and getting him help. And it was weird.
It was weird. Bad. Yeah.
It was just so awkward.
It was so awkward, but Snoop saved it. And then, we thought we were looking at each other like, where are we at on time? Because it felt like this show was flying by.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
we went through the first 3 matches in like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was an hour and 10 minutes.
Jesus, man.
And then we looked at each other and we're like, we only have 2 matches left. What can they do now?
Well, that's when I said to you, like, we're going to get Bray Wyatt, or we're going to get Lashley versus somebody.
Yeah.
We're going to get LA Knight. There's going to be shenanigans for an hour.
Yeah.
Or a musical guest or something.
That's what we thought was going to happen, and it didn't. They instantly went right into the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Which, that was number 2 match of the night for me.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so well done.
It was really good.
So we couldn't see... I couldn't see that Finn had gotten busted wide open. So he posted a picture of what that was. He literally got his scalp. Nasty, it's got to be like what, a 4 or 5 inch gash in his head.
What the hell did he get hit with?
The ladder.
What on that ladder was that sharp?
The edge of the rung.
Holy cow, man!
Because Edge threw
his head open.
Yeah, literally a 5-inch tear in like on his cranium.
There was blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. We could see it from where we were sitting 7 miles away.
Yeah.
And
they must have ran in with a styptic pen or whatever you call that, where they poured the freaking powder and stop the bleeding or whatever. I don't know if they did that or what they did, but they got it to finally stop at some point. Because there was a point where he was like leaning over the mat, and normally you see the puddle, right, or the drops. And there wasn't anything coming out anymore.
Right.
So they must have stopped it at some point.
Yeah.
But Edge was killing a lot of time while they were messing with Valor.
Vet, man.
Yeah.
Savvy vet.
Is that guy cutting his own hair?
I think he's trying to get that Robert Martyr look.
Dude,
we've mentioned Robert Martyr how many times this week now?
Robert Martyr's awesome.
Shout out Robert Martyr.
That guy, he was great, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strikes are fantastic.
Yes.
That guy's going to be, he's the up and comer.
Yes.
Him and Kevin Knight are my guys.
Oh, those
dudes. Kevin Knight's maybe not the up and comer anymore because he's already in New Japan.
Right. Duh, man, Robert Martyr was awesome.
That guy was laying in kicks this whole weekend.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was awesome. But yeah, like they did this match. How about those entrances? Dude. Demon Finn as well.
That freaking helmet and the bat wings that Edge had. How awesome was that?
Dude, they said that I saw a thing that said Slayer did that song.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet the guy, who's the guy that works for Mattel that does all the wrestling stuff? McKenna? Bill
Bill McKenna makes all that.
McKenna?
Yeah.
That dude, I don't know if he was at WrestleMania, but if he was at home, that guy probably just took all his clothes off and laid down in the middle of the freaking living room. Like, holy shit, that guy probably was like, I can't wait to freaking make that helmet and that and those bat wings.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah. Agreed. Wow, I can see Sweaty Bill doing that too. Not you, Bill Wee Holiday. But yeah, this match was perfect. I loved it. I'm a huge Hell in a Cell guy, and this lived up to the expectation.
It was great.
Even though they had to kill a lot of time. It was perfect. No red cell, only colored gimmicks. So Edge had the red chairs, and Finn had the purple kendo sticks.
I was a little surprised we didn't get the bloodbath.
I was a little surprised too.
I thought we'd get a bloodbath.
They probably didn't want to clean it up for the main.
Yeah. No Gangrel. We thought we were going to get Gangrel.
Yeah, they kept saying we were going to get Gangrel. No Gangrel. Shout out Gangrel, I guess. Yeah. But, okay, so we've made it to the main event. When they brought up the graphic and they started playing the vignette, like the crowd started rumbling. And you could feel, like, this moment. Like, I can't explain what this WrestleMania experience has done for me in terms of, like, I get it now. Like, I said this last night, but, like, I get it. What it means to, like, be at a WrestleMania, for those performers to perform in a WrestleMania, and, like, what it takes to get to a WrestleMania.
That's exactly why I have always said the majority of people who are on your main roster should be on that show, because you don't know what's going to happen. People get injured, they quit the business, they get fired, whatever. It's such a destination, dude, to be a part of that show, man. And to not do the battle royal on the show, even as a pre-show match, man, get everyone there. Get them on the fucking card. Even as a pre-show, man, so that there's a historical record of everybody who's ever been on that show. I just think it's a missed opportunity to not have that.
Yeah.
To not have LA Knight, man. I mean,
that is a swing and a miss.
It's just like, come on, what are we doing?
It seems like such a missed opportunity.
And Lashley came out and waved.
And hucked around a big hunk of plastic.
Had Lashley come out and say, I had an open challenge. Which one of you dipshits wants to come out here and get their ass kicked, right? And I wish he would have said those exact words, because it would have given him a little bit of personality. But then,
he's got the personality.
LA Knight, the freaking place goes insane.
Because everyone was begging for LA Knight.
And then LA Knight is slaughtered.
Yeah.
So what?
Who cares? We didn't get any of that. And like this anticipation of this match, it's what everyone wanted to see. It was the talk of the week. It's the talk of the industry.
Sure.
And this match, I was so ready to go. Yeah. I came alive at that point. Like, I'm honestly surprised. Like, my throat hurts, but like I have a voice, so who knows what tomorrow will bring. But
yeah, what a story too! Like,
what a story.
The Bloodline, Cody, Rhodes. I mean, Cody headlining Mania, dude. I mean, it felt so big. It felt so big.
This felt like the biggest of the big time.
Yeah.
And you made it an amazing point both nights after we left, especially after we saw the number that they made off the live gate. They made $21 million in ticket sales this weekend.
Insane. And
we gladly provided to that $21 million.
We gave about $1 million.
Yeah. In parking fees. Oh, if you are a listener and you in your heart of hearts believe that there is a wrestling war, we're sad to tell you there's not one.
There's no war.
There's no war. We've seen everything that you can possibly see this week. We went to the smallest of indie shows.
Yeah.
We went to a larger indie show. We went to, ROH, who at
Small
one
promotions, yeah.
small promotions, and we've gone to NXT, which is developmental,
Yeah.
and we went to WrestleMania, which is the grandest of them all. And
And
tomorrow night
look,
we're
man,
going to Raw.
dude, NXT was way better
And
than the Ring of Honor and everything else that we saw.
listen, I'm not a NXT.
There's no war happening right now.
If you would have traveled the journey with us, and if you could see them photographically, which I'm gonna post a lot of pictures and stuff like that next week, but if you can follow the pictures of what a small indie looks like, and then you get to a larger indie, and you get to a small promotion like Ring of Honor, and you get to NXT, which is developmental, and then you see WrestleMania, what WrestleMania looks like to Pandemonium Wrestling are two completely opposite ends of the
And
spectrum.
Pandemonium ran a good fucking show.
And Pandemonium ran a fucking good show.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we killed Relentless Wrestling, rightfully so. Even the workers who were working the ring crew even said that it wasn't that great of a show.
Yeah.
We're not going to bury that guy because he was a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Saw him multiple places this weekend. But the closest that we could see that we're closest in like terms of size is Ring of Honor and WWE NXT. Yes, NXT is a WWE property, but they are the true developmental system for WWE. They're very similar.
Well, they put on a hell of a show yesterday morning, man. A hell of a show.
They are light years ahead of what Ring of Honor is right now.
It's not even close.
It's not close.
The production was great.
If you look at terms of production versus like if you would go to head production, it's not a contest.
Yeah, I mean, and that's even saying we like the Ring of Honor production.
I like the Ring of Honor
a lot.
That's the best that stage that Ring of Honor had is some of the best stage like design work that I've seen in a long time.
And they unquestionably have the best commentary team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude,
Riccaboni
and McGinnis, bro. I mean, all in. I'm all in.
That's an all-star cast.
Dude, those guys could call freaking whatever match in the history of the world, and I would be invested in everything that goes on.
Right. Now I know that there's been a lot of talk, especially in our group chat, about how bad the commentary was for the NXT show. But we're talking about sitting in the building where it matters the most.
Sure.
Because when you're working, you're working for the people in the crowd and you're working for the television screen as well. But being in the building, they're vastly different.
Yeah.
And Ring of Honor and I've been to AEW pay-per-views. I've been to AEW Dynamites. They're not close. Like they're not in the same league. What WWE and obviously like WWE's pulling out all the stops. This is their week, but they're not close.
Dude, they ran a stadium that holds 81,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, and they got 81,000 people.
Yeah.
It ain't like they ran an 81,000 seat venue and they got 40.
Yeah.
They got 81. Like, it's not close.
It's not close.
It's not close,
There's
man.
no wrestling war.
Yeah. I don't even know why they take shots at AEW. To be honest with you, I don't know why they take shots at them. There's nothing happening in AEW that is anywhere close to what's going on in WWE.
And if you're a first time listener, like listen, we're not big, pound the table WWE people.
Absolutely not. I'm going to get into that here in a second.
And we watch AEW more than we watch WWE.
For context here, I watch Dark and I watch Elevation every week. I watch those shows every week.
Because you want to.
Because I want to.
And you actually enjoy watching that.
I do. I love it.
And I don't do that. I'm a very religious I'm a very religious Dynamite watcher.
And their pay-per-views are like
and yes, AEW is batting 1,000 in pay-per-views. Their storytelling has taken a huge dip, and I don't know why that is. And it could be because of the owner.
Look, I'm probably gonna watch that Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and just hear the commentary and see it. But man,
In the building, we were so let down.
yeah, not too many people were happy with that show.
Not too many people were happy in the building.
Don't believe what you hear from other people that are
Listen.
reporting on this because they're full of shit.
Listen, we're telling we're not bullshitting you. We were sitting in the crowd, and don't listen to what fucking Dave Meltzer says and what Alvarez says about that show. That show, a lot of people were not happy about it.
Yeah.
And people were not popping as much as what they said they were.
No, they were not.
And people were really upset about that Mark Briscoe, and they were more upset that Eddie Kingston didn't win that title.
Yeah. The thing about them, and look, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but like real quick about Alvarez and about Meltzer, I think you and I were talking about this today when we were driving to SoFi, man. Like, they are news reporters who have inside information.
Yeah.
And they're really good at what they do, and they've got a lot of contacts.
Correct.
They give you what they want you to hear.
Yes.
With everything that they report.
Right.
They're not reporting all the news.
I think that has become more apparent to me than anything this week, because Dave was putting over and saying that Vikingo and Commander match was the match of the week. And he said, I haven't seen the Mark Hitchcock show, but it's better than that. And
what does that mean, dude?
What does that mean? We were at the Mark Hitchcock show. I've never seen a three-way like that with Commander, Vikingo, and Black Taurus.
I wish you could have been in the car with me, because I watched all those New Japan shows, dude. All those New Japan Cups.
Yeah.
I watched every match of those shows.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, when Meltzer, and I like Dave, I love that he reports on what he does. He does a good job of what he does. Hats off to him for making a career out of everything he's doing. But I'll always give him credit for that. But when that dude is talking about this match is better than that match, oh, by the way, I didn't actually see that match, and you're reporting on it, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
I think that of anybody, we've seen the most wrestling out of anybody in this town this week.
Yeah, I would think so.
Nobody ran the schedule that we did.
Unless Ponytail Patterson just hung out at the Ukrainian Center.
He didn't see the vastly different styles of wrestling. He just fucking saw GCW bullshit
Look,
all week.
We said, we wanted to get every different possible experience that we could.
We did. We got that. We got the grandest stage of them all. We got developmental.
The complete opposite.
We got everything. Pandemonium. We got Relentless.
GCW shows were...
GCW.
Yeah,
we had
GCW.
Santino Bros. We had Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Well, I mean, that's so different. I mean, all that stuff is like, all those things are so different than all the other things.
All of those things are not like the other.
Right.
They're their own thing. The only things that were relatively close were Pandemonium and Relentless.
Yeah.
And we saw those the first day. Those are the only two things that are relatable to each other. The rest of them were all different to each other.
Yeah.
Santino Bros is a local wrestling promotion.
An academy.
Like, GCW is a small indie.
But it was...
I would say GCW's not a small indie. They're a pretty big indie.
They're running a lot of shows.
They're a big indie now.
They've got... I mean, like, it really was baffling for me how many freaking shows that promotion runs, dude.
And the fact that Brett Lauderdale walked right past us and you thought that he was just a Shippensburg resident.
Brett Lauderdale looks like he shops at freaking Walmart, man. I mean, it looks... I do. So it's like, I
do too, right.
So it's kind of like, he just looks like a dude in the crowd.
He just came down in a hoodie. He just had a hat and a hoodie, and he had his hood up, and he was wearing like South Pole sweatpants, and he just walked right past us, and you thought that he was just somebody sitting in the crowd, and I was like, oh yeah, there's Brett.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But anyways, back to the point. For what it takes to get to a WrestleMania and headline a WrestleMania, that is...
1 in a million, dude.
1 in a million. That's why there's only a select few people that have done it and have consistently done it And that's why that WWE only has a select few that you constantly see over and over and over again because they are. I get it now.
Yeah.
After being here and seeing it, I understand it now. And it's one of those things that like I don't think I would have ever gotten if I would have never experienced it in person.
Well, it's a thing too, man. Where when you see it from all the perspectives of what the goal is
Yeah.
for 90% of people who get into this industry. Like
Mhm.
they love what they do. They want to get paid enough to
Mhm.
get to do what they want to do for their life, right? And
Mhm.
get by. Hopefully they make enough money to support themselves and support their family. And the goal is WrestleMania, dude.
Yeah.
For 90% of those people,
Yeah.
it's coming down that ramp. And that's why whenever people were coming out and you see, the Dakota Kais of the world who got fired when Vince was there, right?
Like literally she was fired 11 months ago.
I mean, dude, to come out and to be able to walk down that ramp, dude. And
What that feels
that's
like.
why it's so important. And like it's so important to just support people as much as you can.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. I mean, it's just
Freaking Dan Barry.
Dan Barry was at WrestleMania, dude.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
That's all I've seen on my Twitter.
That guy's he's our age. He's in his
Well,
40s.
I mean, I'm not 40, but
Well, I mean, you got an old soul.
I have an old soul after this week.
Yeah, oh my god, I feel like I've aged. I can't wait to go on a freaking diet, dude. I mean, we've been eating awesome this whole trip.
I don't think I ate terrible.
We didn't eat terrible. We ate awesome food.
We just ate awesome food. Like, here's one thing about this week. Like, it feels
I've
like
eaten less food.
I've eaten less food. Yeah, because we would go stretches of 8 hours where we wouldn't eat anything, and then we're like, we should probably eat food. And then we're like, are you hungry? I was like, I don't really feel hungry.
Yeah.
And then like we just eat and we're like, that was so damn good.
Yeah.
Like we didn't go hungry at one. There wasn't one point where I was like, damn, I'm like legitimately starving.
Yeah.
But like that's so weird.
I think the only time I got really hungry was last night whenever we were fighting traffic to get.
Actually, that's a lie. And the fact that you bought a hot dog.
Dude, getting from the 405 to the Rainbow Room last night.
Yeah,
you turned shenanigans of trying to park where I was losing my fucking mind.
You were just start yelling at people, and I was like covering my mouth laughing because I didn't want to piss you off.
Every street we would go down, it was almost like a video game. Because like every street that we tried to go down to find a parking space, there was either a boss I had to fight. Or there was like a sign that said you're not allowed to park here. Jesus.
Actually, I did feel hungry tonight. That's why I ate all of my Hawaiian barbecue in the car. I ate it cold after it sat in the car while we were in WrestleMania.
You're fine. If you haven't gotten sick yet, you're not gonna get sick.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, so back to this main event is that the fact that I get it now. And this entrance, all of these entrances, I mean, you don't get better than that. Dude, I can't imagine what it looks like on television.
I mean, it's unbelievable, these entrances.
It's so good.
Unbelievable.
It made me believe that Cody was winning that damn match tonight.
He came out trembling.
Yeah.
And it was like
I could feel when right before Cody came out, I could feel like I'm not making this up, but like I could feel the floor of SoFi under me. I could feel it moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's how hot this crowd was for that.
Yeah. How many freaking Cody shirts were in that crowd, man?
Dude, they
sold 81,000 people. There had to be.
They made
35,000 Cody shirts.
Yeah. They made $21 million in gate. I bet you they sold $20 million in titles.
How much fucking money that is, dude?
Yeah.
How many title belts did they sell this week? And the fake Wheeler Yuta that was sitting beside me.
Dude, he was awesome.
God bless that guy, dude.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He's a great fan. Good, nice guy. Really nice guy. Boy, was he in a living hell.
Yeah.
That whole show tonight.
He carried 2 belts. He bought a belt.
Brought his own belt that he brought last night,
and then bought a new one.
On the way in, pulled the trigger on another belt, and he sat there in that living hell because he could not get comfortable with those freaking belts. Were just falling everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't lay him flat and try to leave the ends hanging over the seat.
Yeah,
which probably would have been easier for him.
Right,
that dude had him rolled up.
Yeah.
And he was holding them like he was holding a trash bag.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like every time people walked by, he was like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna drop all this shit," right?
Yeah, because he was holding his phone and a phone charger
Yeah.
and a power
Dude,
block.
he was listening to the audio.
Because he was listening to Peacock while watching the show, but like Peacock, we know Peacock's on a delay,
Yeah.
so like that was weird too. But
He had cords everywhere. Dude.
that guy's a good fan.
He's a good guy. He was
he was cool.
He was a nice guy. So
Yeah.
I talked to him when you went to the restroom yesterday.
Mhm.
I ended up talking to that guy the whole time you were gone, dude. He was telling me like all shit about his, like wrestling fandom, that everything he's into, and like he's just another guy like us who's all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But Naruto guy, speaking of fans, the guy with the Naruto headband from yesterday, I gotta tell the story before we get into the main event.
Okay.
So
Sorry if you're holding around waiting for the main event.
I swear to God, we're getting there. We just have a lot of stories because we have a lot of experience.
We just have spent 6 days here,
Yeah.
and we are actually back before midnight recording.
So-
we haven't recorded before midnight at all this week.
I feel
so
it's
alive.
so young.
Yeah.
So I go down to the bathroom during that Asuka Bianca match, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna go down there. I'll be in and out of there in 10 seconds. Be back up, catch the last 10 minutes of this match. No big deal. I go down there and I go to the bathroom. There's a huge line. And I'm already like, I've already blown it, right? I've already blown it. I'm not gonna see the match. I'll have to watch it on Peacock at the hotel room tonight,
Yeah.
right? So I'm already resigned to the fact that I'm not gonna see it. So I get in the line to get the souvenir cup, right?
Right.
With a Mountain Dew. I love getting a Mountain Dew in an event. I don't know why that is. Well, it's probably because of Penn State, because they water down the Mountain Dew. And I always love watered down Mountain Dew. No, that's another story. But anyway, so I get in line. I get my drink, obviously, in 2 seconds, because it's just a drink, right?
Uh-huh.
And I look over next to me, and it's the dude that was sitting next to you, the Naruto guy with the headband.
Oh, yes. So that guy was cool.
Yeah.
And he had a title with him last night. He didn't bring it with him today, but
disappeared last night.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Where'd he go?
He came back tonight and he bought the Snoop Dogg belt,
Which was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
So Naruto headband. I look over and I see him next to me ordering chicken tenders or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? And I walk over
That poor
to him.
dude got chicken tenders at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Because all that stuff was happening in the show and he couldn't stand up because he had so much food and a title belt in his
God.
lap.
So I walk over and I say, "Hey man, I'm gonna follow you up into the stands because if we both go up, people have got to stand up and sit
Right.
down."
It's annoying.
It just was annoying. And I'm like, I'm just gonna follow you up, right? Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, man, cool. That's cool." And I think he's right behind me. And I turn around and the dude is not anywhere.
Gone.
Gone. And I'm like,
maybe you didn't talk to him.
Where's Naruto guy, dude? I'm standing there on the steps, like, where the hell's Naruto guy? And he's gone. He's just gone.
Maybe he was a figment of your imagination.
Oh my God. So I get up into the stands and I sit down, and it's like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, he just showed up. Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What's he doing? You were right behind me. He's just gone.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
I don't know. But this main event now. This main event was by far the best Roman Reigns match we've ever seen.
There's no question about it.
I don't know if it's the best Cody Rhodes match we've ever seen.
Top 5.
But they had me. Like,
I think they had all of us, and we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. I was up for this match. I haven't been this alive for any match all weekend. I was yelling. I was animated. Like me and that dude in front of us, like we were going back and forth with chants and stuff like that. Really sad we didn't get a test of strength in the match.
Yeah.
I did scream, "Please do a test of strength." And they didn't do it, so I'm sure they couldn't hear me from 7 miles away. We're really not 7 miles away, so just that's the gimmick.
That match was, Reigns,
it was so good.
I mean, that was the Reigns I've been waiting to see, where he's just selling his ass off the whole time. He made Cody look so good in that match, man. That was like the defensive Reigns that I've been waiting so long to see what that guy had to offer, man. And his offense looked really good too, but I wanted to see him sell for somebody and put somebody over in the match. Tell that story about how close you came to losing that belt, dude.
Yeah.
And boy, I'll tell you what, Roman Reigns is a top 5 guy in the world. There's no question in my mind. Maybe top 3. I still think Ospreay. I know Ospreay's hurt. I still think Ospreay's the best wrestler in the world. But Reigns is absolutely a top 5, maybe a top 3 guy after seeing that match. I've never seen Roman Reigns look better than that dude.
Roman Reigns has never looked better than
I've
that.
been waiting so long to see that guy break out and just do an unbelievable job and put people over and like just look like you're in danger.
Yeah.
And look like you're in serious peril with somebody. Man, hats off to that guy, dude.
Roman Reigns shot up my list tonight, and I don't have, without a shadow of a doubt, he is numero uno.
He's awesome.
I just didn't, for some reason, I couldn't get it.
Because we never saw it.
We never saw it, and then we saw it tonight, and wow. Like, you can't say anything more about that guy. But then, Cody loses, and boy, was the air thrown out of that building.
People were not happy with that.
People were pissed.
Yeah.
I'm literally not joking. We saw about, what I would say, a 70-30 split of people that were 70% of the crowd was pissed.
It might be higher than that. Maybe 75-25 even.
Everyone was saying you just wasted the moment.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people were asking, where do we go?
Where do we go?
What now? What? What's the next question?
Where do we go? Is what we're going to talk about now.
We've heard several people ask the question too. Like, look, we're listening to everybody.
We're listening. We're trying to figure it out because everyone's talking. So we're reading Twitter. We're listening to Sean Ross Sapp because SRS was live on Fightful right after the show.
But even leaving the arena, people were
like, what is going on?
How many people did we hear say the words, "Who is going to beat this guy?"
Yeah, the Narado guy beside us, like he literally picked up his phone and called his buddy right away while the pyro was going off for Reigns and said, who is going to beat this guy? And we weren't even out of our seats yet.
That's crazy.
And
we heard that so many
we heard like the dudes behind us as we were walking out.
Dude, it literally was like people were already going there.
We're like,
if it's not
Zayn, Cody, if it's not Zayn, who is it?
Who the fuck are we? Who's gonna beat this guy?
And they're like, are we gonna call the Rock in next year?
Dude, please, come on, man. What are we doing? We're not. Let's not. Oh my god, it's so frustrating.
So we're gonna get into this.
We got into the red real quick.
Thank
God for hot dog guy.
Thank God for hot dog guy. So I wasn't saying a word in the car. I didn't know how to feel. I felt like I was hurt.
I felt like I was in the car with somebody that I just either broke up with or they just broke up with me and I had nothing to say. I didn't know what to say to make it better, and I knew that everything I was going to say was going to make it worse.
I felt like I wasted a whole week because
this guy flew out here to hang out, and he just got his ass kicked.
Yeah, literally, dude, it felt like that. But
you know what it felt like? Being a Penn State fan when they do a whiteout and they're supposed to beat Ohio State and they lose 48-0.
Dude, I've been to so many of those fucking games. I'm numb to that feeling anymore.
Oh God.
But damn.
Hashtag Drew Allard.
Hashtag Drew Allard. Until the car started moving out of the building and we started rationally thinking again and like the silence was broken. We took a step back, we calmed down a little bit, and we really thought long and hard about this because we had our hour ride from SoFi back to the hotel. So after our car ride, with our clear eyes,
full hearts can't lose.
Correct. Thank you for finishing that.
Well, let me tell you where I was at.
Okay.
So, as I'm eating a $10 hot dog.
Hot
Bacon
dog.
wrapped hot dog. Sitting in an hour-long line to get
It
out of
was
that
never
stadium.
ending, dude.
It really felt like this was a Vince decision.
Yes.
It felt real Vince.
That's what everyone was saying. Everyone was saying the same thing.
And I'll tell you why it felt like this. Because you look for patterns of behavior, right? When all those WCW guys came into WWE, Vince fed all of them to the WWE talent.
Yeah.
And in my mind, trying to figure out the pattern, Vince McMahon is saying, this guy is an outsider who started another company, our competitors. No chance in hell is this guy coming in here beating our long-term champion in the first event where he was going up against him and winning that title. No way is that guy winning our title, dude. And it felt very spiteful.
Yes.
In the moment.
In the moment, oh boy, if I'd have saw
felt
Vince
very
McMahon.
Vince, dude. It feels very Vince.
If I'd have seen Vince, he would have been mauled. Everyone would have mauled him.
Yeah.
Everyone was so pissed. And for me, I just was like, they've fumbled 2 babyface runs.
But it's not 2. That's the problem. It's 50.
Right. Oh, 50 over time,
Yeah.
but 2 in the last, in this calendar year, and we're only at April 3rd.
Yeah.
So, we thought long and we thought hard about this. And we need to give a shout out to JC because he brought us back in. And his comment sparked our conversation for the next 55 minutes. Where he said, they had me. They had me invested again. They had me watching Raw. They had me watching SmackDown. I was watching all the live events. I was checking in on Twitter to see what was going on every day. They had me.
Which none of us were doing.
Which none of us were doing prior to. And that is an incredible point because without this angle and without Sammy and the bloodline, we're not here tonight.
Right.
We don't care. So I started off our conversation with, well, let's logically think about Cody. What has his path to this match been? He was Vince McMahon's hand-chosen opponent for Seth Rollins last year at WrestleMania. And then they had that feud. He gets hurt, has that moment in that match, has surgery, comes back, 9 months later?
About 9 months.
And he is entrant 30 in the Rumble.
Yeah, entrant 30.
30. Didn't beat anybody. Like, that was your point. He didn't beat anybody. He just had that quick little match with Gunther.
Which was great.
Which was, absolutely. Loved it. We put that over big time here on the pod. Check that on the archives. But the thing is that
point is earning it.
Earning it. And
Right.
that's what Triple H really emphasized in that in the press conference. He wants somebody to take it from Roman. And if we're thinking about Cody's arc, if Cody wins the title tonight, it looks like it's totally given to him.
Right.
And we're going to revolt him in like 2 years. We're going to be like, that guy didn't earn it.
Looking back on it now.
Yes. It's 4:00 Eastern time.
Bad guys time.
Good guys time.
Like, it just felt, looking back now, it felt easy.
Yes.
And handed.
Handed, yes. And if he would have won that, we would have hated him.
Oh, we would have went nuts in the stadium.
Dude, that crowd wanted it so bad. We wanted it. Like, I wanted it. And that's what hurt. That's what hurt the most, was that I was so emotionally invested because Cody is my guy right now. And he's my active guy. And I wanted that for him so badly, knowing that what happened to him beforehand and him making this decision to come to WWE and to finish the story, which is this is the important part of what we're talking about. The story is that if Cody walked into this Mania and won that belt, that's not a good story.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It's a good story, but it's not good enough.
It's an easy pop.
It's an easy pop. It's a Tony Khan pop. I think that's a good one.
You're not wrong.
The real payoff and the real story started tonight. And I didn't get that when I was walking out of that stadium. I don't think anyone's getting that right now. And for some reason, I think that we've watched so much wrestling this week and we've been so in tune with what, like, we've just seen so much that, like, our brains are wired right now to think bigger picture, think outside the box, not in the moment, think about business future. Where are we going? Where's the money? And the money isn't today. The money is a year from now.
Right.
2 years from now. So, okay. We just feel like I just got that all off my chest. So, Cody not earning the win, feeling let down. Now he has to figure out, how do I get back to the top? How do I get back here? And a lot of people are knee-jerk reaction.
Which we also did.
Which we did. We absolutely did. I was ready to burn that stadium down to the ground. I was ready to just grab your torches and pitchforks. We're going to kill Vince. And after sitting in the car and really thinking about that, it was the right decision. And it's
hard to admit that, but yes.
That felt like I almost got teary-eyed saying that out loud.
You just had a breakthrough.
Yeah. It was the right decision.
I think Cody's going to win that belt in Philadelphia.
And that might be the right decision.
Yeah.
And here's why. So, if we're looking at this match, and I paid attention to this match very intently, Cody comes down to a lot of fanfare. Roman comes down to a lot of boos. Cody has the moment with the kids. Roman, is holding up his titles, and we're brawling. We got Heyman, and we got Solo who's interfering, and Solo gets thrown out. The Usos hop in the ring. The Sammy and Owens thing happens where they come to save Cody, and Solo sneaks back into the ring, which is what the Sammy and Kevin were trying to stop. Solo is the problem.
Because Cody went in on him. About not being ready.
Yeah. And
he completely influenced WrestleMania.
Because he gave him the big thumb, which set up the spear for the pin.
Right.
Solo is the catalyst to the story now. And how do you solve the Solo problem? We came up with this together in the car.
Because you're 4-on-3.
Right now, you're against the odds. You got 4-on-3.
We're thinking about who was booking this.
Who's booking this? We really thought hard.
What that person likes.
We literally broke this thing down to Triple H. We even brought Bruce into this. We said what's Vince's influence into this? Like, we really thought long and hard about this. Because we had an hour drive.
Yeah.
The payoff to this match is War Games.
I think it's gonna be a big 4-on-4 in War Games.
They need to have a 4-on-4.
It's Triple H's big thing.
Triple H loves War Games. The Bloodline is 4 members. Right now, it's Cody, Kevin, and Sammy. They need a 4th man.
The thing too is that Triple H is going to book this long term.
Right.
And if anybody, you got to lock in, dude.
Yeah.
Lock in. And look, I said this in the car to you, like everything Triple H has done, he's got credibility points with me, is what he's got.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. That guy said in the press conference basically the same thing that I've heard my whole life, which is give us the benefit of the doubt to show you where we're going with this story.
Yep.
I've heard that same bullshit from his father-in-law 1,000 times. I've heard it from Eric Bischoff 100 times. I've heard it from Dixie Carter. I've heard it from Tony Khan, who's an idiot. Okay? I've heard from all of these people all the same things.
I can't wait.
Trust us where we're going.
Trust us where we're going.
He is the only guy in my lifetime that has said those words. And I've been like,
he's backed it up.
He's backed it up. And for the most, like I'm okay with it. Because here's the thing: if Triple H has no long-term plan, or Vince meddles too much, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I don't need to watch your product. I really like CMLL. I love New Japan. When it's good, it's great. It's the best in the world. I can watch anything else, dude. I am a fan of your industry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to watch WWE ever again. So if you screw this up and you have no plan and it goes back to changing stories 5 minutes before they go on air,
I think
which is what Vince was doing.
I think those days are gone.
I think so too. But if it's not, I don't need to watch WWE ever again. I'm done. So be it. I'm okay with that.
Which in the moment, that's what that felt like.
Yeah, it felt like Vince move.
It literally felt like they pulled the rug out from under Cody right away.
Yeah.
But back to our like the sun, the clouds were moving, the seas were calming, the birds were chirping. Cody, Sammy, and Kevin need a fourth man.
Yeah.
If they're going to even the odds, and they are going to...
It's going to be War Games.
It's going to be War Games.
Which will lead into the Rumble.
Which will lead into the Rumble.
Which will then lead into Mania.
Which will lead into Mania. Correct. This... No one is picking up on this. We are talking about this WrestleMania Night 2, like, it just happened.
Yeah.
And this has to be where they're going. It's the only thing that makes sense. So, we're going to make sure that this is bookmarked to see if we were even on the right track when we get this far.
We're not trying to fantasy book.
We're not fantasy booking.
We're just trying to read the room.
We're trying to we're trying to read the room. We're trying to make sense of this because a lot of people are asking, what sense does this make? So we're trying to make sense of it all. The sense of it is that they need a fourth man. Who is the fourth man? It's not who's the third man, NWO style.
Yeah.
It's who's the fourth man.
So I was thinking that it has to be, in my opinion, it has to be somebody who is going to benefit. It should be a younger guy.
Yes.
Who's going to benefit from the mentorship and rub of two people who've done everything, which is Zayn and Owens and Cody Rhodes. Okay? It should not be somebody, in my opinion, should not be somebody who is physically bigger than the people that are in the bloodline.
Right.
So who is that? Who is that person?
So we came up with a list of people
who can use the rub.
Who could use the rub
from the vets.
From the vets, and who better to know and understand how to book and place this all together than Triple H, because he created Evolution.
Yeah.
What better faction has there been that's created
They got the rub.
They got the rub the right way, because they created Batista and they created Orton out of that. So, who do they want to create? And I believe we came up with a list of about 5, and we have
5 names, yeah.
We have 4 or 5 names. We have one that we thought would be really, really good, but we're not sure just because based off storyline exactly where they are. So, We'll get him out of the way first. Because of storyline and the fact that he's in a tag team, who we thought that would be an excellent choice for this fourth man, we thought Montez Ford would be that guy.
Yes.
However, the only reason that Montez Ford cannot be eligible for this in our minds is that he's in the tag team with Dawkins. There hasn't been the turn yet, so we don't really...
There's no seeds of it.
There's no seeds of it. Yeah, so right. So if they're going to do this, they'd have to do it tomorrow night. And they just received an opportunity to challenge for the championship last night.
Okay.
So that's probably not our guy. So who were the other people on our list?
I thought that the first person I thought of when I thought of who was somebody that could use that rub that is going to be a big time player in the future, because that's what the spot is.
Mm-hmm.
You're working with all those people and Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Breaker would be that guy,
especially after what we saw yesterday with handing of the torch.
Yes,
that's what that felt like at the end of the show. Now
Breaker is a guy who is physical enough to deal with
Solo.
Yeah.
He feels like he can physically deal with Sikoa. He could deal with the Usos.
And even Reigns.
And he could even do an upset for Reigns.
And look, man, I
and
know
he
I've
looks
said
the
this
part.
Before, and I probably sound like a broken record. Braun Breaker is a future Universal Champion.
Yes. Getting
him in there now to work with Reigns and set the stage for down the road is very smart.
And, that's the catapult. That's when we're talking about putting the rocket ship and the rocket fuel with somebody, that's what that is.
Yes.
I don't think there's a better pick than that. But we have a few others on our list. And another person that immediately came into my mind was Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Or, what's his name?
Butch. Yeah.
I want to say Brutus, but I know that wasn't right.
I'm telling you right now, man, when Pete Dunne was battling with Tyler Bate in the UK, in NXT UK, Pete Dunne was maybe the best heel in the world at that point.
Yeah. That
dude is incredible. Everything he was doing was so physical, dude.
Yeah.
And then he dropped all that weight. They put him in, they gave him a stupid name. Supposedly he's going back to the other name, to his real name.
Right, Pete Dunne.
Dude, he's so awesome.
I think that that's an excellent choice to add to this because he brings a bruiser, brawling attitude that, physically he looks like he might not be able to deal with Sikoa, but his style could be a good juxtaposition with Sikoa. So...
keep in mind, too, we're pretty sure Sikoa is in the long-term plans of that company.
Right, because...
I'm not there on him yet. I'm not there yet.
So
that
as...
dude is being positioned like he's going to be a big-time player.
Right. So you are on the outside on Sikoa. I'm on the inside with Sikoa. I like Sikoa a lot. And what we've known from, at least from what Meltzer and them have said, is that Cody has been working with Sikoa on the live events. So that should be a quick tell that, they're going to be working a lot together. So this is only the beginning. So if you're upset and you're worried and you're unsure of, this whole Cody situation, tonight wasn't finish the story. It was, we're going to finish the story later, but this is where the road begins.
I think it's Philadelphia. I think Cody wins that belt in Philadelphia. I really do. I think Reigns is going to hold that belt for another year.
Yeah. And how they get there...
we're going to go through a bloodbath at War Games.
It's going to be a War Games bloodbath.
Yeah. With some sidetrack. Along the way.
Absolutely. So, who is another person we picked on our list?
I mean, I threw out Carmelo Hayes and Wesley, but I don't think either one of them are going to get pulled up within the next year. The guy that I thought for sure was Breaker, I thought you were spot on with Ford. I actually think you're more right with Ford than what you think you're right with Ford.
Yeah.
But He's awesome, dude.
I know, but
He is ready to go, dude.
I know he's ready to go, but there's just nothing there. There's no meat on the bone
But
for.
the thing is like that Dawkins Ford feud, which is coming, is not going to be long. It's going to be it's going to be a breakup, and they're going to kill Dawkins for Ford, and he's going to go into the lower mid card, and Ford is going to go straight to the top.
So I guess in terms of what I'm thinking about is like maybe we need to book this tomorrow night. Like we need to book the fourth man.
Tomorrow night.
I think it starts tomorrow night, but
because
I don't.
Tomorrow night's the last night of WrestleMania. That's
Right.
what it is.
Right. So
that Raw after Mania is the last night of WrestleMania.
Yes. And I don't think that like we need to add the fourth man, tomorrow night. What we need to do is we need to plant the seeds for a fourth man. So, I think that with Montez, if he's going to become the fourth man or something along those lines, this is like we're looking at this maybe it's only April. This might happen in June.
Sure.
This might happen at Backlash.
Sure.
It might there's seeds of doubt could start at Backlash.
The only thing with Montez that leads me to think that it's not going to be him is look, we're going to War Games.
We're going to War Games.
We're going to War Games.
It's War Games.
It's going to be Bloodline versus Zayn, Owens, Cody, and someone else.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out who the fourth is.
It would have been so good if it was Ford. If it was Ford, man, it would have been so good for them to have the Usos screw the Street Profits out of a title win.
Yeah.
And plant something.
Yes.
But I don't think we've really gotten that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be him.
Right. So we have two others that we think could be a part of this. So we have Breaker, and we eliminated Ford, and we have Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
So a third that I thought it might be could be somebody like Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
He's big enough physically to deal with Sikoa. He eliminates he 1000% eliminates your Sikoa problem.
Triple H loves that guy.
And Triple H loves that guy. And
justifiably.
Yes. So that's why I thought that, Bronson Reed is an excellent pick.
Yeah.
And do you have something you want to add?
I mean, I love Dragunov in that spot too. I mean, I think Dragunov's going to be in NXT for a little while.
Right.
And probably get a main event kind of deal out of that down there.
Yeah.
But Bronson Reed makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
Man, what a shame we didn't get that guy this weekend, man.
Right.
What a shame.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get him tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I guess my last pick is somebody that we haven't seen for a long time. And this person is somebody that we've been sitting around like, where the hell is this guy? Like, he hasn't been on TV in a very long time. Somebody who is in a very, very important faction. Very long, historic career with Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah.
Who is somebody on this roster that those guys want to work with? Who is somebody that they look at that guy and say, that's one of us? Or somebody that Cody can look at and say, I've traveled the same path as this guy.
Sure.
And that person is Roddy Strong.
Wow. I mean, where the hell is that guy, man? What a better way to get that guy on the main roster and give him a jolt than to put him in that spot.
Yeah. Where, like, the fourth man, I feel like we've put together a list of who's the fourth man. I feel like it's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
A very believable list.
I don't know why Rod Strong's not on the main roster. I mean, there's in some capacity. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that would be unbelievable to have him in that spot.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I would really like to see Rod Strong, Gargano, and Ciampa in like a WWE version of TMDK.
Ooh, that would be nice.
On the main roster.
We are big lovers of TMDK.
Yeah, for sure. So it'd be cool to see that. But I mean, look, we're gonna get the four.
we're gonna get a 4 because this is leading to War
Let's go to
Games.
War Games.
War Games is here to stay now.
Yeah.
It was a success. Now they need to capitalize and make it even bigger. And what bigger way to do it than through this storyline where, this weekend was very much surrounded by finish the story. And
we're not even close, dude.
The story has just begun.
Yeah.
And I think that is the most intriguing, and I think that makes me like it even more. Because
so that takes us to November. But we talked about this in the car, but like what happens with Reigns and that belt between now and November?
So we were really wondering who's the next guy? Who is somebody that hasn't been a part of the scene in a long time, who makes sense in a story perspective. And the only person that I could think of that made a lot of sense is Seth Rollins.
I mean, look, they're not going to go with Jay White. I know people want to see that. They're not bringing in a babyface bigger than Cody.
No.
Cody is the guy. And people got to get that through their head. Like, for as angry as people are right now about what happened tonight, Cody is the babyface who's going to be the next champ.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen today.
It's going to happen.
But they're not going to bring in a Bushi or Jay White ahead of Cody. It's not going to happen.
The whole part of the story is that there's no bigger babyface than Cody.
Exactly.
Cody is the end game. Right now, the catalyst is Sikoa. The catapult is the fourth man.
Right.
So how do we what does Reigns do while this is happening in the background?
Sure.
And we really talked long and hard about it can't be Drew. You killed him.
We thought about loose ends.
We thought about right. We thought about a lot of loose ends. We thought about like, well, who has he faced in the last year? He's faced Sammy. Can't be Sammy. He's in the tag thing.
Right.
He's faced Drew. You killed him dead at Cardiff.
Sure.
And he's really involved with the Intercontinental title scene.
Never getting that belt again,
dude. No, and he's got this contract thing coming up. They're not going to want to push that again.
They're going to re-sign him.
They're right.
That guy's not winning the Universal title.
No, he has met his ceiling right where he's at right now.
Sure.
Who is somebody that hasn't been a part of the scene in a while, who's somebody that they really like, that could fill the spot for now? They
just got a huge win last night.
Yes. For me, I think it's Seth Rollins.
There's no question in my mind it's Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins makes sense because we talked about like the whole how the Shield breakup happened and what happened with, the architect gimmick and how he stole that moment from Reigns. And, Reigns has always been the guy that they want, but Rollins has been the guy that they respect. And let's bring them together. Seth has been way out of the picture for a long time. Let him come back into the picture and be that, because Seth Rollins is over. We all sat there last night, 80,000 of us sang the song with him.
Yeah.
So he's the baby face he's not the fourth man.
No.
But
Rollins is the guy between now and probably like September.
Yes.
Or maybe just SummerSlam.
Yes. So that is your SummerSlam match, Seth versus Roman.
And the reason why we say that is because, I'm going to say this right now. I've got two concerns with Reigns.
Right. Yes. Please voice your concerns because we should have started with your concerns.
No, it fits in right now. So the two concerns I have, number one, is The Rock. So I personally do not think The Rock is ever going to wrestle again. I do not think he will ever wrestle again. But I do think that the WWE knows that is a very big money match.
They're
going to kick that can as much as they can, hoping The Rock is going to come around.
So
The Rock ain't coming around.
This bloodline feud has been centered around the talk of Roman versus Rock.
And there's problems with that.
And there is. The problem is that We just had 2 nights of WrestleMania in Inglewood, California. The Rock lives in California,
I mean, minutes away.
minutes away. We can't get any closer to The Rock than this weekend. And that guy was not available for whatever reasons that he has.
You know, it started to really creep in for me about kind of where this was headed when I started to hear about the Black Adam stuff
Yeah.
and the Shazam stuff and the
Well, you're out here in Tinseltown, so you got some
I
dirt.
got the insight.
I'm so glad I
The
snuck in
guy-
Tinseltown
The
again.
guy that was Shazam, I think his name is Jeremy Levy. I think is what his name is. The Shazam guy came out publicly and said that The Rock is not the easiest person in the world to work with, and his sabotage shit makes everything about himself. I mean, dude, I I don't know if The Rock is going to put Reigns over in that match,
And that's his own cousin.
that's his own cousin. I don't know if we're going to get out of that what we want to get out of it, because look, if The Rock ever wrestles again, it ain't a win. He's got to go out on his back.
He's got to go flat out on his back. He's got to eat that pin.
And I don't know if he's going to do that, man.
I don't know if he wants to do that.
Because if it's true about everything that went down with like Shazam and Black Adam, he got fired from Black Adam because he was trying to control everything with the DC universe,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Fuck you," and they got rid of him. So even if there was going to be a new Black Adam movie, it ain't going to be The Rock. He got fired, and the guy in Shazam, who he was supposed to be, starring with, who the big fight was going to be with, that guy came out publicly and said this guy's an asshole. So we're going to kick the can on this Rock and Reigns thing for as long as we can. I'm telling you right now, The Rock ain't coming around, dude. The Rock's not going to wrestle again. So that's my number one problem, is that we're gonna hope upon hope that we're gonna get this Rock and Reigns match.
Right, because the reason
What are you gonna do? You gonna put the belt on the Rock?
No, you
He's
can't put
70 years old.
You can't do that. And we did it 10 years ago.
Come on, man.
As much as, and I know that if people listen to this, they'll probably want to shut it off now because we said that The Rock shouldn't be champion. But like, let's be realistic here. The Rock should not beat
Dude,
Roman Reigns.
I saw The Rock beat CM Punk at that Royal Rumble in Phoenix. That was 10 years ago, and The Rock was slow.
Listen,
10 years ago.
I love The Rock as much as everybody else does, but The Rock should not be WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Undisputed Champion.
No chance. Reigns should whip his ass in that match.
Yes.
Which won't happen. Even if they do wrestle, it'll be highly contested all the way through.
Right, because it's The Rock.
If you wanted to be serious, Reigns would destroy that guy in a
Right.
match.
So, The Rock. The longer and the harder that I think about this Rock thing, the more I get concerned about it, because I thought there's no better time to bring out The Rock
It should have been tonight, dude.
than tonight.
Yeah.
The pyro's going off, Roman turns back to go up the ramp, and it's smell like that, dude. That would have saved everybody, but
It should have been Cody and whoever in The Rock and Reigns for control of the family. That's what it should have been.
so
We didn't get it tonight, and we're not going to get it.
I don't
we're getting
think
that
I
match,
don't
dude.
think we're getting the match. The Rock is going to continue to tease you, and he's going to fucking get you. He's going to give you blue balls every chance that he gets, because
yes, he is.
because he said it
That
yesterday.
dude ain't wrestling ever again. I'm telling you
The
right now.
dude said it yesterday.
And
Maybe
if
I'll meet
I'm-
you down the road.
Dude, if I'm
Bull
wrong,
fucking
I'll
shit.
eat crow, and I'll admit it that I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
I totally will. And they're going to make $1 trillion on that match.
Because listen, this bloodline thing is all built around Roman facing The Rock, and that's what WWE has wanted from day one, because that is a $1 trillion match,
Yes.
and it's a trillion eyes. that your company will never be bigger than it ever will be at that point because you have injected The Rock back into your programming and your storylines and all of that. That is the money match. That'll be the biggest match of all time. There, like we won't have a match bigger than that.
It'll be the biggest gate ever.
It'll like you think 21 million that they made tonight was big? That could probably clear 30 first day.
It'll be the biggest gate.
It'll be the biggest gate.
Yeah.
It'll be insane.
The problem with that is that they're never going to get it.
The problem is that yes,
Because Homeboy's not wrestling ever again.
I don't think that he is
He's going to lie his ass off about how I'll see you down the road. You're not, dude. His ego and his schedule, while he's making bullshit, stupid ass movies no one cares about, are gonna be
and running the stupid XFL.
Whatever. The XFL sucks, dude. Let's be honest. It's not good.
And as a shoot, you really wanted to do an XFL.
I did. I how many times did I lobby to you about doing an XFL show about just the logos and the colors and everything else? Like I really wanted to do an XFL show in a football developmental show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pushing your ass for that. At some point, you're gonna get low on content, and you're gonna come back to Andretti, and you're like, Andretti, take me for another lap around the circuit.
Another round.
So anyway, but I just don't think that guy's coming back, dude.
I don't think he is either.
And even if he does, I don't know if his ego will allow him to go out on his back for Reigns, dude. Because that's what it has to be. Whether he wrestles Reigns or Jimmy or Jay or freaking Eugene, whoever the hell it ends up being, The Rock has got to lose that match. I don't think he's going to do it.
And, funny you mentioned Jay, because I think Jay is a big catalyst in the story.
Well, he's my other concern.
So you go ahead and just talk about your...
Well, that's what, I mean, you're going right into it. I mean, that's my other concern is that they're going to keep that belt on Reigns, and they're going to build Jay as the next babyface to beat him at Mania. I think that's a real possibility. Jey Uso...
Even if we don't even do this... So that Jay is the catalyst for whether or not they're going to do the War Games.
And they're already playing into it, dude.
Right.
100 times over. Jey Uso, super talented, super athletic, very good-looking guy. He did a hell of a job in that run against Reigns during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That guy might be a main event wrestler.
And it's funny because, whenever they were the Uso brothers and they were, wearing the paint and the colors and all that, I thought that Jimmy was better than Jay. And, years removed, Jay's the guy.
Yeah, Jay's the guy.
And you made an interesting point, is that they're twins. So how do you tell them apart? And they've already kind of done that with, having Jimmy have the red hair, and Jay has the mullet cut, and the way that Jimmy wears his shirts differently than Jay.
Yeah. They're trying to tell them apart.
Yeah, they're trying to pull them apart because they are legitimately they're twins. So they are when they have the same look, they're very hard to tell apart. But they're trying to pull them into different variations. You can clearly tell that Jay is, has that new mullet style haircut. Jimmy's got the red hair, long hair, always going to wear the shirt.
But my thing I was talking about earlier was is the long-term story not Cody? Is it actually Jay? Is it Jay versus Roman? I don't know, man.
I don't know. It could be.
It could be awesome.
It could be. And I would be just really super disappointed and heartbroken for Cody.
Yeah.
That it's not him. It could be. It legitimately could be Jay.
And that kills me too because there's precedent. Because, you brought all those WCW guys in. You killed them dead. You fed all of them to all the WWE talent. That invasion angle was the biggest dud in the last 30 years, right?
shout
so
out
stupid.
shout out the invasion and shout out Uncle Jamie. We're gonna get you the invasion sometime this
I
summer.
mean, dude, you hate to look for patterns, man, but that's what it is. I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
There's patterns of behavior. And it felt like Vince tonight, the pattern of behavior, outsider comes into our company, no chance in hell is he beating our guy.
Yep.
At least not in the first go at it.
Yeah.
Bury his fucking ass.
Yep.
And that's what it felt like. So I think my hang-ups are the kicking the can down the road with the fucking Rock, which will never come to fruition, even though he will lead them on and lead the fans on for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
He's never going to wrestle again. I think that's number one. Number two, Cody's not even a part of the equation, and we're building towards Jay and Roman.
That makes and yes, those are two legitimate concerns, because if it is Jay and Roman, how much of this build to this WrestleMania doesn't matter?
Right.
Like, you just did it to do it.
They did Sammy to do it.
Yeah,
That's the problem,
they
too.
did
It's
Sammy
like,
to do it as
people
well.
love Sammy. They buy his shit. People love Cody. They buy his shit.
Dude, there was only 3 guys that you saw consistently all week. It was Roman, Cody, and Sammy.
That's it.
Those are the only 3
That's it.
shirts you saw all
That's
weekend.
it. Yeah.
And you saw a Stone Cold one, because they had a pretty sick shirt here.
Well, and you saw NWO shit.
And the NWO. But, like, if you're talking
which will
about...
never go away.
Right. No, those things will never go away. But if you're talking about 3 shirts that you saw all weekend, you saw Cody, you saw Roman, and you saw Sammy.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3 shirts you saw.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, that 1,000-day reign with Reigns is a big deal.
And
It's a big deal.
Boy, was I spitting fire on that in the car.
Dude, they want to market that guy as a 1,000-day reign, man. That's what it is. Like, he's so close that, like, the thing about Triple H too is that we're not playing hot potato anymore with these belts.
Yeah.
It's somebody wins the belt and they've got the belt for a long time. And like I brought up to you, how many times? And look, this is theoretical. I'm just making this up. You know, DDP wins the belt at Super Brawl or whatever the hell it is, right? Sunday night. Monday, Kevin Nash beats DDP in the first hour. By the end of the show, Luger's the champ.
Yeah.
Like, those days are fucking gone, dude. We're not doing this anymore.
No.
Like, these belts matter.
Yes.
Marketing matters.
Yes.
And branding matters.
And
we're done.
right. And Cody teasing the brand, the title change, like, they fucking got us.
You got everybody.
They got everybody. They got everyone to believe that tonight was the night.
And how pissed off were we? Where are we going tomorrow night?
We're going to...
We're going to Raw.
And
we're
we
spend
do...
a bunch of money.
we literally were... we were standing on the concourse saying, I don't want to fucking go to Raw tomorrow night. And then we calmed down, cooler heads prevailed, and we're like, dude, we gotta go to fucking Raw tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's gonna be...
I fucking hate them.
Yeah. They
I
fucking
hate them.
they got us again.
Got us again. Well, look, we're going to go to Raw. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah,
And there'll be more questions than there are answers.
probably.
And that's what it is.
That's what they do
And we
best.
keep going.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
But our theory is that it's all predicated to getting to War Games
Yes.
and who's the 4th man.
So my opinion is what they're going to do is look, again, I'm not trying to fantasy book this. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves about what's going to happen. Seth Rollins got that big win over Logan Paul. Rollins is a guy who's very well respected. I think there's loose ends. You go back to that. Finish it in the short term between him and Reigns. Do the background stuff with the 3 versus the 3.
Yeah.
Usos, Sikoa, Rhodes, Owens, Zayn. Okay?
Yeah.
Do that in the background through freaking SummerSlam. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we've got War Games coming up. It's 4-on-4. I think it's going to be Breaker. I think you put Breaker in there as the 4th. You go 4-on-4. Then Go into the Rumble. Now we're talking January. We had Cody come in at 30.
Yes.
Wins that fucking Rumble at 30. Okay? Very convenient, easy route to WrestleMania main event. I think, personally, Cody Rhodes comes in at number 1 in that Rumble and wins the Rumble in 2024.
And then
he's wins the belt in Philadelphia.
And he's earned it.
Yes. That is my prediction.
And I think that, and I'm going to second you on that, except only I think that the 4th is between Roddy and Bronson Reed.
Okay. Look, I'm good with either
all three. I mean, good. It could be Pete Dunne for all we know.
I'm good. With any of those guys, I'm good.
Or it could be, I don't think it's going to be a 4th that we haven't named. It's got to be somebody that's young and on the roster. It can't be a bigger star than Cody. So it can't be somebody they're bringing in like a Jay White or an Ibushi if that's what they're doing. There's no way they're doing that.
You're not bringing in a babyface bigger than Cody.
Right. Cody is the man. Cody is the guy. Yes. Cody is he's the locomotion. He's the train at the front of the locomotive, and everybody else is just filling in the train.
Yeah.
And the caboose is the 4th man.
We're gonna get there.
Dude, we figured. I don't even know how we even got to this point. But like, we were just thinking about like, what do these guys work for?
Yeah.
Like, what are they thinking about long term? And the biggest long term thing in the future is War Games.
Yeah. It's a big Triple H thing, man.
And it's a big Triple H thing.
He loves it.
And the odds are stacked against them. It's 4-on-3. Who's your 4th man? So maybe we'll start seeing who that is tomorrow night. Maybe we won't. But if you are a first-time listener, we thank you for listening to the podcast and the Podski itself. We really appreciate it.
What a week, dude.
What a week. We're going to cap it off tomorrow.
So we can't do a show tomorrow night because you're going to be getting on a plane.
Right. I'm literally leaving Raw and Andretti is putting me in the race car, and I'm zipping off to LAX, and I'm flying out. You're gonna have to sit
on the what's that thing?
Spoiler.
The spoiler in the back.
I'm gonna hang off the spoiler in the back.
Spoiler, dude. You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna be spoiler hanging. Oh my, yes. So we won't have a Raw recap. I'm probably gonna have to do it solo on Tuesday when I get back home to the Good Guys time on the other end of the continent on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, with that is our WrestleMania full review. So, if you like what you listened, like what you heard, and you like you know what I'm saying. It's so late. It's 4:49. If I was at home right now, it would be 4:49 a.m. It's 1:49 in the morning.
Shit, man.
This has been a long pod.
Dude, what a week, dude.
What an awesome week.
And we got another day tomorrow of eating awesome food and being assholes and getting a bunch of free food and crypto. Oh, God.
Shout out Mrs. Andretti.
I married the right woman, dude.
Yeah.
We got great seats tomorrow. We get $100 in vouchers to spend tomorrow night on food.
We're going to the suite tomorrow night.
Tell you right, we're going to get diner breakfast in Shadow Hills tomorrow. I might make you get a quesadilla across the street at Taco Ranch because that's my favorite quesadilla in the world. Hashtag Taco Ranch. I'm telling you, that place is unbelievable. So we're gonna probably hit that, and then try to hit Cane's.
Yeah, how am I gonna eat all this food tomorrow?
You're gonna eat all the food tomorrow.
I'm gonna like be waddling in like the.
We gotta go. We're going breakfast in Shadow Hills. We're gonna grab a quesadilla across the street. It's the best quesadilla you've ever had. I'm fucking telling you right now. We're gonna go to Cane's on the way back into town, and then we're gonna go to Crypto, and we're gonna eat a whole bunch of freaking double cheeseburgers at Crypto for free.
For free. So. If you like what you heard, don't forget to download, rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out on socials at the_Podski on Twitter, the_Podski on Instagram, the Podski with John Baker on Facebook. And with that is our WrestleMania week. We made it. We survived. We were super pissed and sad.
We didn't sleep a whole lot.
We didn't sleep a whole lot. But it's all going to get back to a little bit of normalcy. So thank you for coming along with this journey with us, and we will see you next time on the Podski.